are gonna have to expand someday soon. Where did I leave that letter? Can't very well do alchemical work without a weapon.
Sometimes I look at people and I wonder, do I have the wrong outfit on? I didn't know, like, the certain outfits were more beneficial. Because I never even noticed.
I mean, it depends on a lot of things. Everybody has their own play style.
Hmm.
But yeah, different outfits give you different things.
But, like, each level is, like, it has, like, a flame or, like, a rock next to it.
Oh, yeah. Well, those are just, like what you can put in them. And you don't want to wear, well, I mean, I get at a certain point it doesn't matter, but you don't want to wear ice things to fight something that's fire.
I mean, if it
Because then you
looks
take more
cool.
damage. I mean, yeah, but then, you just have to be good at the game.
True. So do you still live at home with your parents?
Yep.
When I get a job, I'm leaving. I love my family, but I just can't be here anymore.
Well, I love my family because they leave me alone, so.
Mine does not. I am the baby of the house,
Oh.
so I am gonna be the little kid forever, unless I leave. I hate this fire one. Like, he's always jumping around, he'll never stay still.
Oh, Hellion? Or is it the dog?
Oh, I don't know. Where does it say their names?
What does it look like?
Like a rhino on fire.
It's the dog.
And every time I try to heal somebody, he hits me. Why is he this
It's
smart?
what he does.
That guy better come back and
It's
heal me. I died trying to heal him. This other one came back for me. That's really nice. Squeeze my hog came back. And then how did he die trying to heal me? What the crap?
he was probably on fire.
I don't know. Like, there was a little flame next to me. I think he walked into it. Poor guy. I'm never gonna hit this one in the face. I think it takes too long to heal people on here.
You have the medic skill goes down, I think.
Then he slapped me with his tail. Like, I'm not gonna hit this one in the face.
Yeah, there's a skill to revive people faster.
They could at least came over. They could at least pretended like they were gonna come over and help heal me.
Pretend, just run over there and just not do anything.
Yeah, like they were trying. My triangle isn't doing anything. Is this a...
You have to do it right before the square hits. And it uses up a shell in your ammo, if you have one.
Okay, so triangle first.
Well, square first, then triangle.
Okay. He won't stay still.
Well, yeah, it's hard to do it on him because he's always moving.
He's a good thing to fight, actually. I died by him like 3 times. My team lost. Nope, don't come heal me now. I might have to leave this game. It's too frustrating for me right now. I hate this hammer. I should have probably started off with the axe first. If I could at least felt better about myself.
Wait, you have to do a mission with the axe too?
Yeah, it says use the hammer and the axe. So do you have Black Ops 4?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Nope. I have 3, but not 4. And it's not installed.
I was actually coming back for that guy. Oh well. Things happen. I can't find a game to calm me down today. I think I'm gonna have to play Kingdom of Hearts.
That's always a fun game.
Yeah. When I play Call of Duty Online, I expect to get into it with some people, and it's like, I don't want to. But at the same time, I don't feel I should have to mute my mic all the time when I'm playing Call of Duty. It's like the most retarded people playing Call of Duty all the time.
Because everybody has something to prove.
Yeah, that girls shouldn't be playing Call of Duty, or I have to be a little kid because of my voice. Then I go to work and get the same thing. Well, if you had a deeper voice, people would take you more serious.
Oh yes, because I can control that, thank you.
You should get more loud. So yeah, I get loud. I am the minority. I get loud with the majority. What do I look like? The villain. Which sometimes, yeah, sometimes I don't care, but sometimes I do. And then my family, oh well, maybe if your voice was louder. Like, you're my family, you're supposed to support me, not go against me.
No time like the present. Heard about some work.
I can never satisfy this man. What more does he want from me? Okay, it doesn't say axe, it actually says war pike. Recommended.
For what?
It says the combat alchemy. Bassoon Marcus would like you to stagger and wound.
Oh,
How do you say it?
wounding, yeah.
Behemoths 5
Behemoths?
times
Yeah.
each to show that you're ready to use an assault and insight tonic. I guess I'll never be ready to
Yeah.
use it because it's just not happening.
It'll happen eventually.
Doesn't feel like it. Doesn't feel like anything's gonna happen eventually. I'm trying to complete 2. I'm trying to do the stupid armor upgrade crap, and then I'm trying to do the resistant crap, and whatever he asked, and then someone else asked something else, I can't remember what it was.
slay. Keep your guard up. The hunt is waning. Keep on slaying.
I don't know if this is actually better than Elder Scrolls. I like this because it's straight to the point, and I like the way the graphics look at the colors, but honestly, it's kind of like a ripoff of Elder Scrolls.
What is this?
Yeah.
How so?
Like, you're fighting monsters.
1 moment, please. Your aid will be remembered.
In
I mean,
like a
yeah, but
random group.
it's more of like Monster Hunter though.
Never opened Monster Hunter. I haven't, never opened it. It's really my dad's game. I try not to open up his games.
Well, this game is almost like a carbon copy of Monster Hunter, just if like Fortnite took over.
Hmm. Is it online? Oh,
Take care out there.
Is it on what?
Monster Hunter, is it
No
online?
time for equivocation.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but it costs money. And there's an expansion coming out soon, so
I don't know. Have it opened? What the heck is this? Is this for the gun? Is this all for the guns? Like... It actually looks pretty nice.
The Ostian Navy thanks you. Maintain your edge, Slayer.
I hate running around this much. Is what...
Set sail. Catch you later.
you hate running around the map?
Yeah. Look for people, like... I want all the crafting and the weaponry people, like, all together. All together. So I can go to one booth and then the next booth. Not run all the way up here and all the way back down there. And then be like, oh my gosh, that's not the right person, like I just did a couple of seconds ago. Yeah, this is the right guy. Hmm. I can't remember what weapon I needed. I really don't know what it... Why don't they just have regular names? I guess I'm just gonna have to guess which one it is. Okay. What the heck did I need?
Dwarven blades need quality.
I'm just grateful for R2.
Those are two, do.
Ships
You know, that's the sprint.
Oh,
Talk to me, Sid.
But it still feels
Yeah.
like forever. Okay, a war pike. What the heck is a war pike? Is that the two-sided, like, sword thing? Like, spear?
Yeah, it's like a spear.
Okay, I got
That's
the
my
right
favorite
one.
weapon.
I hope I have the right one. If not, I'm definitely gonna have to switch games. I might have to go to Overwatch to make myself feel better. Now, does it matter which weapon you get? Like, if I go somewhere with the little lizard that's like fire, and I get a fire weapon, is that better over another one? Or should it really matter?
I mean, if you're fighting a fire guy with a fire weapon, you're gonna do less damage.
Really?
Yep, because they don't take the bonus uh damage from the weapon. But if you use a
What?
fire weapon on an ice guy, you do more damage.
What?
Yep, but
I
I don't
mean, that
care.
kind of makes sense, but it's kind of stupid. Like, logically, you make a fire weapon to fight a fire animal.
Well, no, because
And
it's
unless
going
it heats up.
in this game, they absorb the elements. So if you fight a fire guy with a fire sword, he's just gonna absorb the damage.
But I'm just saying, if I was gonna hunt a monster and it was a fire animal, I'd make it out of materials that couldn't melt by fire.
Well, yeah. In this case, ice. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand why, but you know, my logic is you hit him with ice, and the ice just melts and turns into water.
Yeah. They're
But
making
that
a
doesn't
good
explain
burger
how you
too.
beat thunder.
Maybe I'm weird, but when I'm having a bad day, I like to watch couple tags. On
And I
YouTube.
don't know if it's weird or not. It might be weird.
What's that green thing that's you could attach to your weaponry? What is that again? It's like a ball in the right-hand corner.
In what? In the loadout?
Yeah.
Oh, those are slots to put cells in.
No, it's like, I don't know. It kicked me out now. But it's like some sort of add-on to the actual weapon, and it's green.
Yeah. Well, that's because you put a green thing in it.
What is the green thing?
I don't know what you put in it, but it's a cell. It gives you like plus bonuses to skills.
Oh, yeah. Wait, no, it can't be, because I saw where it said cells, but then, like, I had 3 different pikes, and the one I equipped didn't have one of those green balls on it.
Because you didn't put one in.
Is that bad?
Yes, you have less power, but it's fine.
Oh. I honestly thought about quitting my job today. I always think about quitting my job.
Why? Bad things happen?
Bad things always happen. It's basically like this. If you're Asian, you get away with everything. If you're not Asian, and you're young too, and you're not old, like super old, like with grays, you're always at fault. If you're Asian and old, you don't have to abide by any rules whatsoever. So it's not a real job, but we work for tips. And like we take turns and we're supposed to work together. But they do whatever they want to do. Doesn't even matter. And sometimes it doesn't even matter if you're older, but if you're not Asian, like say if I file a complaint, like they never get in trouble. I just hate it there. It's like, no matter how many times you complain, they're just like, oh, okay, I'll handle it. Or you can complain on it. Yeah, or you can complain on that specific person. Like how I said we were taking turns. Like, it was 3 of them. They grouped up together and they tried to skip me and this old guy. And when I went to complain, the head person over us, which I refer to them as a representative because they're not an actual manager, they were just like, okay, well, Jasmine's right, so you need to move and let her have her turn. And she said, no, I'm not moving. I'm not wrong. And I'm just standing there like... Okay,
like
that's it.
Are you serious?
That's all she has to say, and she still doesn't have to move. And I was mad with the old guy that was with me because he didn't like really say too much either. He said, well, I said you were standing there. Well, I said, but yeah, but that's all you said. I'm trying to defend myself and you, right? Because he was my witness, and you're just like... This is what always happens. They just say, well, you know, they're different because they're Asian. You know, they do things differently in their culture. They're freaking like 70, 60-year-old. They're old enough to know the difference now. They've lived in America a long time, so that's the excuse. Because when things happen to them like that, they come to us complaining about how unfair they were treated. So yeah, I'm quite tired of it. And then it's like they make up rules all the time.
So then you should just quit. But you have to find another job first.
I don't even want to do that because, I mean, 50%, I do. But then it's like I don't. Okay, so basically, we have a sister store, but I really kind of want to go over there. But it's like part of me feels so comfortable where I am now. If I go over there, who's to say it won't be just as worse? But actually, they seem to have more diversity at the other one.
So you can't just see if they have an opening or something?
Yeah, but like... a bunch of people seem to apply, but I'm hoping maybe if I say, well, I'm from the other one, yeah, maybe they'd be more inclined to be like, oh, okay. Because I actually put in, applications at both when I first started. And The only ones that seemed to had actually called me was the one I was at. I didn't hear anything from the other one. But what's crazy is a good majority of people who have gotten fired, which there's actually no firing because it's voluntary, of my job, and they go over to the other one, no problem. Several of them. Some of them have just recently went over there, or they call it transferring. I'm like, there's no transfer. Like, what the heck? They try to act like that place is so legit. And my thing is, like, I'm the same person typically when I come to work over there, and when I am just shopping or whatever, or not working. But if you treat me bad when I'm working, you cannot expect me to treat you the same way I would when I'm not. So, like, if I come shopping in there, like, if I walk past those women that's treated me bad for so long, and when I come into work, they're like, we saw you and you didn't speak, blah, blah, blah. And I just look at them like, because I didn't want to talk to you. Would have spoke if I wanted to speak to you. And I hate to do it, but it's got to be that way sometimes.
It makes sense. So, I would do.
Oh, this spike crap isn't too bad you were talking about.
Wait, the spike? What?
Yeah, the two-headed sword crap.
What do you mean it's not too bad?
It's actually pretty cool. It looks
It's amazing.
like a samurai right now.
My favorite weapon.
Really? Really? All three of you guys let him ram me while I'm healing? You monsters.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I don't think there's much they can do about it.
Yeah, they could have attacked him.
It's not that easy.
And why am I
Especially
always
if it's
fighting
a
this
dog.
fire one? Like, he's the worst one.
I mean, there's much, much worse.
I don't feel that way.
Yeah, right now. Wait until you fight the evil dog.
Hmm. Yeah, I like this weapon. I didn't think it could get better than my, this. Really? Why is the monster always following me? That's some crap. I'm gonna die. Teammates, save me. Please. Save me. Why am as my rank BE? Well, I got a bonus for once. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm just fighting. Okay.
Oh, I won't disturb you then.
I'm actually trying to not be OP this time.
Not what?
Not be OP
What does that mean?
or abuse a glitch. Because there's a bunch of glitches in this game. There's a glitch that makes you do a shit ton of damage and you really don't have to worry about anything.
Where to next? Yep. I'm ready to ship.
I am never going to be able to... Wait, it says wound 5 times. Did I not wound it 5 times with this weapon?
No, wounding is specific. You have to hit it with the square attacks a lot until you see some like bluish mist coming out of it.
What bullcrap?
Yep.
Venture over.
I feel like I played myself.
Why?
I just don't feel like I'm ever gonna surpass these stupid missions. These
You
are
will
times I
eventually.
wish I had a partner just to hand him the controller and be like, do it. So I can move on. And never look back. And no one has to know.
I mean, you can. I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
What do you mean?
Share play, and then
Oh,
you give the
usually
other
my
person the
share play
controller.
doesn't connect.
Oh,
Only one time with this one zombie game. I was able to share play with one of my friends. One time.
yeah.
The rest
It's
I
all
just
about the
had
internet
to
connection.
live stream. So
It doesn't work all that often for me either. I only did it like twice or something with my friend. And she doesn't live that far. She lives in New York, so.
oh, okay.
But yeah, it's
I
still.
always used to want to visit New York and then I changed my mind. Most people I meet from New York are amazing. But when I went to Japan last year, I felt like I was in New York, so I didn't have a feel to go to New York anymore. I just want to go to Chicago, California. I want to go back to Florida. 50% of me wants to go to Germany. But if I
What's in
go...
Germany?
Yeah, I know. If I go, what is in Germany that I'd want to do? I was born in Germany, but I didn't live there long enough to have any experience or connection there. So, my mom thinks I should go back there.
To experience your heritage.
Basically. And like, my family, they always said when I was a baby I preferred white people.
Okay.
So, they think it's true to this day. Well, it could be because I was born in Germany. They said when they took me home I cried. Non-stop, but when I was with them, I never cried.
I mean, I don't know what happened, so.
They
I
fed
guess
me
it's true.
lavender, not lavender, but vanilla flavored binkies, fresh milk, bathed me daily.
They treated you like a god.
Basically, my mom said I was the only black one there, so.
Oh. Alright.
I mean, I guess I'm kind of like that person too, like, I like diversity. So, I get excited when it's like somebody different around.
Instead of the usual rabble.
Yeah. But for me, at this moment, I feel the majority of people that I'm around is just black and white people. I don't recall having that, like when I went to high school, I don't recall having that many Latinos or Hispanics in my school. We had a few here and there, but not like a nice mixture. And they all like sat together like at the lunch tables and stuff, so you didn't really get to know that many of them. Yeah, they excluded themselves, like,
That's normal though.
I guess. I've
I don't
never
know.
been
That's how it was in
excluded
my
with
school.
people, so. Huh?
I mean, that's how it was in my school too. Or when I went.
Well, like, if I talk to other people, they're like, oh no, we had a lot of Latinos and stuff like that. And they could be, like, right up the street, so I'm just like, well, I mean, they just went to your school. Like, my school, they associated my school with the white school. And I said, well, in my opinion, I felt it was a good majority of black and white people. But it probably was more white people.
No, my school was definitely white people. Or at least mostly white people. I know this for a fact. But there was like a few others.
Yeah, and I had, like,
I was
barely
friends with a lot of
any
people.
Asians, like, in my school at all. In my one, I asked him too many questions, he got offended. But I want to know about his culture. I like to know people's different cultures, okay? And he got offended, and he... Okay, so I asked him, was it true? Did he actually eat dog or a cat? And he said, no, that is the Chinese. And then he said, how would you feel if I asked, did black people like to eat watermelon and chicken? And I said, I wouldn't feel any type of way because you're asking a legit question.
I don't know. Some people are super sensitive to that.
Yeah, but I needed to know because people have always told me that. So I need to know
Yeah, I
if
know.
it was true, and I need to know, was it his group, because he was Korean? Was it Chinese or
Korean.
Japanese?
I don't know. Koreans are the StarCraft players. That's all I know.
Yeah, that's true. And to me, I think of them as the majority who get plastic surgery and wear a bunch of caked on makeup and use a lot of facial creams.
It's probably true.
My friend, he lives in Korea right now, and he had a needle in his arm, a weight loss needle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just like, at first he didn't say anything, so I was concerned. But he told me it was just a weight loss needle, and I was just like, huh, okay. I
Interesting.
mean, I wouldn't do it, but you know.
Yeah, more power to you.
You know, I thought before I could climb up stuff.
I mean, this game in its climbing is really broken. Sometimes it does, sometimes you sit there for 6 hours trying to climb something.
I don't understand why people can't wait to fight the monster. Like, you see that I'm not there yet. I want to collect some plants and fruits and vegetables too.
I mean, I always go straight for the monster because A, I don't use the plant stuff. And I just like fighting things.
I do too, but I like to collect. I actually like this one that just flips on its back. It's quite cute. Reminds me of my dogs. It's like a giant beaver. A beaversaurus.
Oh, that's Pangar? The blue?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Pangar.
I don't know. I still might quit though. It's hard for me to work and do a master's program, even though I'm in the summer right now, which is a plus side. I pretty much come in whenever I want to. Like, not for the whole day. Like, I come in at 9, but I mean, like, I could put off, basically, whenever I want to. And I only do it on the weekends, but... But they say at the other store, like, you could leave whenever you want to and everything, like...
They're more lax, I guess.
Yeah. Like, we can't wear any hats with any type of symbol on it. It has to be solid white or black. Now, I've been there 10 years. I've been there since I was in high school. Now, they say you can't even wear any symbols on your jackets. Like logos, anything. My thing is, almost everything you buy has a symbol and a logo on it. Like, what idiotic person? So I'm like, you can tell they did not even go to school, and who's to know, say they graduated high school? Like, it's ridiculous. And the black people always get in trouble there, no matter what. Like, one guy, he told me one of the representatives came over to him and snatched his phone out of his hand and put it in his pocket and told him he can't be on the phone. Now this man is like 50 years old.
How do you even say some guy can't be on his phone?
I mean, technically we're not, but my thing is, they're always on their phone. The Asians are definitely always on their phone. And even like, the other workers, the actual paid workers there actually are on their phone. They've told us before we can't even have water, but the actual paid workers can have water. Do you see the issues here?
Why are they treating you guys so different?
Because there's no respect. They don't care about us, and that's why I feel so degrading being there. So I tell my family, but they don't seem to understand. Yeah, maybe I do make decent amount of money, but it's not like constant because it's tips. And yeah, I'm a big person on not selling your soul for money, but my dad told me, he's like, well, there is like a little old folks group home that opened up near my home, but my dad told me, he's like, what the heck is this beaver thing doing? He's not cute anymore. He's like trying to body slam us.
That's what he does.
I did some move. I couldn't even stop doing it.
Oh, the spear thing, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how to do it.
That one. You just I don't know how to do the glitch, but it's square 5 times or 4 times, and you hold the 5th one, and you just sit there stabbing. That's a good way to do 1 damage, but you have to get them to not move. So.
So do you know the difference of having a dating preference and just being racist?
Yes.
You're one of the first to say that.
You like You like a certain type of person. Being a racist means you don't like a certain type of person.
Finally, someone with some common sense.
I
It
don't
just
understand the
disturbs me.
question.
It just disturbs me. I'm sorry. So, I was, like, majority of my guy friends, actually, I don't know a single guy friend, besides, like, 2, that are not racially motivated with their dating preferences. Like, some will say, no, I don't like black girls. And I said, that is not a preference. It's okay to say you like a certain type of person, but you don't
You can't say
cross
you don't
out
like-
everybody else.
I don't know. That's just people are weird. I don't understand society nowadays.
Restock the store.
That's like one of my guy friends. I think because I don't like him, he tries to make himself feel better, so he'll say this. Well, you're gonna end up with a white guy anyways. That's what you prefer. And I said actually, no. I don't, but if one was really nice, who's to say I wouldn't give them a chance? That's not my preference, but if it happens, it happens. I'm not gonna deny a nice person. Well, okay, I have one time, but that's because I was afraid to bring them home. I was
There's always an exception
scared.
to the rule.
Huh?
There's always an exception to the rule.
I was so scared. And I just kept thinking, gosh. What happened was, I liked this other guy for years. And then I happened to have a class with him and the white guy. And the white guy didn't ask me out. The other guy asked me out, so I ended up going with the other guy. And technically, he didn't ask me out. He found out I liked him. And then it just happened.
Okay.
That was my high school story. So the other one, like, he's like, what, you're dating the other guy? I said, yeah, he asked. You didn't ask. Like, honestly, you didn't ask. If you would have asked, maybe I would have still said yes. I would have been terrified to bring you home, but I probably still would have said yes. And now, because I brought home that other guy, like, I'm basically not allowed to bring home any other guys anymore. I bet money if I would have brought home the white guy, this wouldn't be an issue. But I brought home the black guy, and he was like the worst guy I've ever brought home. And so I'm not allowed to have guys over anymore.
Well, that sucks.
It does, because he ruined it for everybody.
Everyone else. Yeah.
Because I used to have birthday parties, and I would invite, like, all my guy friends over, my female friends. My family never had an issue. And I don't recall them ever having an issue with any of my friends. But him, my dad wanted to go over his house and beat him up. And my dad's that,
Damn.
pretty much that, you know, chill dad. But not anymore. Like, my guy friends, my dad's like, no, they can't come over. And I'm like, what? Or, like, they'll invite me over their house. My dad's like, no, you can't go over. And I'm like, I'm 20, well, at the time I was 24, I'm 25 now.
So sad.
It is, isn't
You
it?
gotta mess it up for everyone else.
It was. It really was. And now, my dad, not only are they not allowed to come over here, my dad automatically refers to them as bums. Which maybe that is true. But my dad didn't even get to meet them all yet. I only say that because I think you heard the story when the one invited me to the park.
Yeah.
Okay, that wasn't the first issue. The first issue was, okay, for New Year's, so we take turns on who is the group leader of planning events for us to hang out. And he's the youngest one of the group. I think he's like 21. And he said for New Year's, alright guys, let's hang out for New Year's. I said, oh, okay, that's awesome. Now this was like the day before New Year's, or 2 days before New Year's. And so I said, what are we gonna do? And he said, let's go downtown. And I said, okay, and do what? And he was like, I don't know. I said, what?
We'll find out.
Yeah, he said, we're just gonna walk around. I said, walk around? I said, first off, there's gonna be drunks. And then I was like, I don't do well with drunk people, okay? I don't. Second off, I don't want to be driving and there's drunk people. Two, I can't drive because I can't drink, right? I could either drink or I could drive, right? So what fun is that? Then, like, my family and I, we shoot off fireworks. I can't shoot off fireworks. I can't see people in my neighborhood shoot off fireworks. How are we gonna know where they're gonna shoot off fireworks downtown? Like, there was no actual planning. I said, what are we gonna eat? Oh, I don't know. I said, I'm pretty sure bars and crap are going to be packed and full. So what happened was, I said, how about I just ask, can y'all come over to my house? And my dad said no. And I told my mom, I said, oh my gosh, Mom, this is why I don't have any friends. They can never come over. And my mom was like, okay, I'll talk to your dad. So then he says, alright, they could come over. And then she says, Jasmine, we'll just buy like a pizza for them to eat. They don't have to eat our food, because my family does like a big feast for New Year's. And so, the youngest one was like, oh, can we have alcohol there? I said, I don't think that's a good idea, but if you want to risk that, that's on you. But I prefer you not tell me, because if I tell my dad, he's going to be like, you're not going to die on his watch. You know, versus like some people related to you and you know they're going to stay at your house, versus other people drinking and then they leaving and driving. That's not really okay. And so I got the okay on everything, and then I said, guys, give me a call so I could pick up the food and crap and let my family know you're coming. None of them called me. None of them wanted to answer their text. And when they had attitude, why are you calling me? I said, excuse me? I said, you know what? Forget it. You guys are not coming over my house. My dad was right. You guys are bums. I mean, okay, I don't think I might have. Probably not, though. Told them that my dad said they were bums. So, then, like a couple of weeks ago, I brought it up. I said, Terrence, your ideas stink. You suck at planning. And he says, actually, me and Treasure did go out. And then he says, yeah, there was a shooting, so I'm glad you didn't come. I said, what? If I would have came, my life would have been in danger again, because, you know, they mentioned the park. Who's to say my life wouldn't be in danger there? And now you're telling me there was a shooting where you were at? And from the story they told me, they were literally there next to the person that was shooting.
Okay. And they just think this is a good idea?
I told them, like, my thing is, you don't really know me if you can't plan well. Like, I like fun things. I like amusement parks. I like water slides, water rides, cool stuff, gaming. I don't like hot heat and no pool afterwards. I actually have a pool at my house, but I can't invite them over. I just get on my nerves. And then the one, I remember he said, this was like last year, he said, oh, you have a pool? I said, of course I have a pool. That's why I don't go to public pools. And he said, why didn't you let us know? I said, because I don't like to let people know out of the blue. Oh, I have a pool. Oh, yeah, okay, can we come over? No, because if you don't really text me that much and you don't call me that much, I don't consider you a friend. And you're not coming over my house to swim in my pool and put your fluids in my pool. I don't think so.
It makes sense.
And actually, I'd love to have people over my house. I love it. But I'm not gonna let people use me.
I mean, that's general rule.
Everybody's always quick to call you a friend, but like, how many of them would actually be there for you, you know?
Yeah. I
And
know
not
that
risk
too.
your life by shooting.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Like, I couldn't imagine if I told my family that. My friends, they did go out for New Year's, and guess what? There was a shooting, and then my parents would be like, yeah, you're definitely not hanging out with them anymore.
Yep. My family would probably do the same thing, so.
You have a good family.
Yep. They love me.
Sorry, I was looking at cows, chickens, and rabbits. And piggies.
Right.
On
You got a
Instagram.
farm?
No,
Oh, okay.
I mean, technically I should, but my grandfather actually gave away his land.
Oh.
This is why I tell
That's
people,
okay.
you cannot let people borrow anything. He let his brother borrow some of his land, so he never got it back.
Gotcha.
That's exactly what would have happened. Like, my gosh. I think I probably would have inherited land. I'm pretty sure I'm my grandpa's favorite granddaughter.
6, 5,
Me and him are very identical, like, in our thinking habits.
2, 1.
Oh my gosh, my YouTuber's having a boy.
Yay!
That is so cute. I'm so happy for them. One, I just love the fact, you know, many people don't actually get married anymore. They actually got married first and then they had a baby. I think that is so cute.
Yay! Finally, people doing things the right way.
I don't want to watch any other YouTuber. I didn't expect to see that on Instagram. I wanted to watch an actual YouTube video so I could have the anticipation. Oh, that is so cute. And then I hate, like, people my age will always post about not having kids is lame. If you brag about not having kids, then you don't have a life. Yeah, I brag about not having kids because, like, on my dad's side of the family, which who's to say my mom's side wouldn't say it either, but, like, they're really big on, like, people just having babies. And so, like, my grandmother will call every blue moon saying, oh, I dreamed about fishes, so I know someone's pregnant. Or, like, when exactly, like, a couple of weeks or so after I came back from Japan, I went to go see my family. And the first thing my aunt says, so, what are you up to now? Do you want to have kids? Kids with who? First off, with who? 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 I didn't start off that way because I don't want to let her know I'm single, but she probably already knew I was. She just probably wanted to say something ignorant like that. But kids with who? Myself.
Oh, cloning, yeah. Let's do that.
Adoption. And then so, like, she started talking about pushing out babies with my grandmother, and then she says, shh, be quiet. We don't want to scare her.
Wow. Okay.
It's like every time I visit her, it's always been, you got a boyfriend?
You got kids yet?
So what are you doing? You got a boyfriend? You got a boyfriend? This is why I have two separate Facebook accounts. I have one for my life, and I have one just to spy on their life so they leave me alone. It's the touche, because if they were on my Facebook, they'd spy on me, clearly. Because they always ask me, babies? Babies? Same thing for my brother, but they are worse towards me. Like, way worse. And what's crazy is anytime they mention about having babies, one of my aunt's children has a baby. So, it's like, she complains about being miserable, and it's like she just is unsatisfied because we're not miserable. My brother's been married to his wife, I don't know, maybe 6 years, and they still haven't had any kids. Like, to them, that's strange. To them, it's strange. I don't have anybody. And it was crazy because when I came back from Japan, that's when I found out I also got into the master's program. And while I was talking to her, I said, I just told you I just came back from Japan. I just told you I'm in a master's program. I prefer her just to go ahead and straight off and say it. Am I dating someone, not asking me about what am I doing, and you don't really care what I'm doing, what you're asking. Well, okay, what she is insisting what I'm doing is a guy. So that's what she's asking.
I mean, I'm not in the same boat because I don't talk to my family that much. if
Lucky
ever.
you.
Yeah. I know. I'm trying to avoid that whole situation, so I'm just stay up here. It's safe.
And sometimes
Yeah, they're probably asking the same thing.
and it's like, I think most people have kids. Okay, I feel there's like 3 different type of people. The people who have kids on accident, which I think is a rare majority in this population going on at the moment. Not to say it doesn't happen, but I think it's a rare majority at this time period right now. There's the type, the girl wants to have the baby, so the guy's like, whatever. It's just sex. Or maybe the guy wants her to have the baby because he doesn't want her to ever leave.
Okay.
Maybe he cheated on her and she feels he owes her a baby, so she has a baby. Or maybe she just doesn't want him to leave. Or maybe she just wants a baby, doesn't care who it's by as long as it's a baby. And then you have the guy that just wants to have sex, so he doesn't really care. If you want the baby, I'll give you the baby because we're just having sex anyways at that moment. So that's how I see it.
I mean, makes sense.
And then, like, this guy, he liked me. And I didn't give him a chance because every time I had a boyfriend, when he admitted that he had feelings for me, and then finally, like, I don't know if I was actually single at that period, but we were talking, and he's like, oh, yeah, he ended up dating this girl. His ex-girlfriend. Oh my gosh, she looked like a crazy cat lady. He got her pregnant, and she had a baby. And I told him, I was like, I think he said he wanted to marry her or whatever. And I said, well, you do know some people purposely have babies. It's not because they love you. They just want a baby. Because they get to that mindset that they're, oh, I'm old. I gotta have a baby by
Or
somebody.
running out of time or whatever. Yeah.
So, yeah. And I think that's how my grandma and my aunt think. I don't think that way. In my mind, sometimes I guess I think I'm very youthful. When I'm back in school, I feel like myself. When I am out, I feel like myself. But when I am at work, I feel like I am in middle school again because people are so childish. But and sometimes PlayStation.
This is why I'm happy I don't have to deal with that many people. Ever.
You seem like
I
you're
just,
living
I
the
just don't
dream.
like dealing with people. Yep. I like my life. I don't want it to change.
I
I get
want
to hear
mine to
everybody else's
change.
problems,
I want
and I'm
mine to
just like, yep.
change. I want to finish college.
See, I realize most of the people's problems are because of other people,
Mhm.
so I picked a job where I wouldn't have to deal with other people as much.
That's probably why I thought being a graphic designer was pretty much perfect. Like, and I googled it. It said it's really good for people who are just, isn't it called introverts?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the word for it. You don't like dealing with people a certain amount of time.
Nope. That's why I don't know about dating, because I'm the type of person, like, and maybe it is normal. I do not know. I haven't confirmed it, because I don't know that many normal people. After a certain amount of time, I just get, like, agitated. Like, I need my space. Like, I like to be alone some days. You know?
I mean, I'm the
It
same as
feels
you,
like they're clinging on
so
my back. Like those little
yeah,
fingerlings.
they just need attention, and you don't. I don't want to deal with that right now, so I'm gonna stay here. So yeah,
Yeah.
no, I know that feeling.
And I was talking with my mom. I didn't realize she noticed. She says, you know, you're the type of person, like, when you first meet people, you're usually quite quiet because you're trying to figure them out.
Yep, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I gotta make sure what type of
You gotta see
person.
how talkative they are and how much attention they need before you fully commit to this discussion. So yeah.
And so, like, oh, I was talking to my mom one day, and she's like, yeah, you know, I never thought you'd be interested in having kids. I said, what? I mean, now she probably wouldn't say that. But this was, like, maybe, like, 4 years ago. I said, what made you think that? She's like, I don't know. And I was just like, I am the baby of the family. No one else has kids, so I'm not used to being around kids. But, like, 2 years ago, that's when I was still, in my bachelor's, and I was doing education courses, so I went out to the schools, and everyone told me, yeah, you probably prefer elementary school. Oh my gosh, I always miss those children. They were so hilarious. Hilarious. And the teacher, she would always say, oh, that one right there, he's the bad one. And they were just the sweetest little kids. Like, I just wanted to love them all. They were so funny, so hilarious. I loved them, and I was just like, and that's one reason I started thinking maybe I couldn't be a teacher, because I don't know if I could separate being mean to them when I need to be, because I just love them. They were so hilarious. It was like watching a little kid's movie, or like Shazam. I just loved it. They were so funny. But she was like so mean to them, but I understand they kind of need that. But at the same time,
Yeah.
like, I feel like when you teach so long, you forget what made you want to do it in the first place.
I mean, it depends. It depends on the kid, obviously. Like,
And
there's gonna be good kids and bad kids.
I feel like you can't get mad at kids. Like, the one, she tried to stab me, and before I actually had to leave the actual class, her cousin was in her same little art class, and she told me, she said, you know, she really likes you. She really looks up to you. She doesn't have anyone around her like that. And I mean, these were like 5th graders, and I just thought it was so cute. But at the same time, I was mad she tried to stab me the first time with a ruler. You know how the ruler has like the metal pieces?
Yeah.
Yeah, she tried to stab me with that. And I didn't say anything. I couldn't figure out what she was doing. She was like, touch it right there. And then she like tried to jab it in my finger. And I was like, this little girl's trying to stab me. But then, like, when I came back, I was like, I can't get mad at these children. They're just kids. And when I was a kid, and sometimes it's still true to this day, like, I could be mad at somebody. And within, like, a few hours, as a kid, I would forget what happened. I couldn't even remember I was even mad at them. Like, we were friends, or, like if my dad got mad at me, then I'd come right back to my dad, like, no problem. But then as I got older, I remember hearing my mom talk about, like, holding grudges, and I thought that's what I was supposed to do. So that, like, kind of flipped things a little bit, and I started holding grudges, because I thought that's what I overheard her on the phone, so I thought, oh, I'm supposed to hold grudges against people. So... But sometimes I'm still that type of, like, ditzy person. Like, I have that personality. Like, I just don't remember being mad at people. Or after, like, if I say I'm mad at you, after probably, like, 2 days, 2 days at the most, I don't really care anymore. Like, maybe even a day. I don't know. I don't even think it takes that long. Like, I don't really... It just depends on what it is. Like, if you talk bad about me and my race, or me being a female, or something related to that, and it's not a joke, then yeah, I'm gonna get mad. But besides that, like... My guy friends irritate me all the time. I call them Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Like... That's just the way it is. I don't know. And that's probably how I look at it at my workplace. Like, I get mad at these women. I think they're terrible. But then when I come back, they are like, oh, hi, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the day, I try to remember what they did. But sometimes it just slips my mind. I'm just like, whatever. I'm not here for you. I'm here for myself. And I just have to keep that in my mind. Whether I'm mad or whatever, you know? I don't know. I guess in my mind, I always thought, like, I'd end up getting married and having kids by, like, 21, and I'm so grateful my life didn't turn out that way.
Nah, man, I knew early on that I wasn't gonna have kids.
Why?
I don't know.
Because you're bad.
Because I'm bad? I'm not bad.
No, I'm saying they're bad.
People. Oh, kids? No, kids aren't bad. I just don't like people.
I feel the same way today. I really said I hated people. But then, like, soon after, I met some really sweet people, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
I mean, there's good people out there. I'm not gonna say there aren't, but you gotta sift through all the shit that you have to go through first.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I tell my friends sometimes I don't even want to, like, date people anymore. Like, just terrible. Like, that guy, I knew him for a long time, and I couldn't really remember too much about him. But I do remember he was stingy with his money. We did talk a lot, and I thought he was... Well, I don't know if he was funny. I'm more the funny person when someone's not funny. So, yeah, I mean, he was kind of, like, chill. But I do remember I did tell him I would never date him. I was sometimes I rap, okay, and at that time, okay, he had walked in this room I was in, and he said, I have a question, and I said this rap, and it rhymed perfectly, and it was so on beat, it just came out, and I remember singing it, yeah, and I would never date you, and then he was like, you know, I don't even want to ask my question anymore.
Damn. Damn.
That was a great rap, too. My best raps just come out of the blue. And I was just like... oh, I said, no, tell me. He's like, no.
No, I'm done. I'm done with this. I was gonna try, but after that, there's no
And I started thinking, gosh, I really hope he wasn't really actually about to ask me out.
Damn. You shattered his dreams before they could become reality.
I mean, technically, I did give him a date. The second time was a date. Didn't you hear that story yesterday?
Yeah.
Gosh. And honestly, I thought after that date with him, actually the first one that he claimed was a date, I thought was one of the worst dates in my life. And then I thought, I should never date again.
Maybe you will. Maybe you won't. Who knows?
I feel like I'm pretty much dateable, not on purpose. I mean, sometimes I can say I'm not, but I feel it's weird if somebody does not like me. I'm used to somebody liking me. So usually I could tell. Sometimes I can't. Like if someone's mean to me, I can't tell. I hate when people are mean to me and they have a crush on me. I hate that.
Because it doesn't make sense.
No, and this guy, I don't think I shared with the youngins that story. I added him to PlayStation and he refuses to play with me. He's like shy, but he's also like weird. And he's like nice.
But he's weird.
Okay, like, I worked with him and he was really nice to everybody. And he didn't really talk much to me until year before last. I think was before he actually went into the military, which I was shocked. And he just one day we started talking, but my thing was when I did try to talk to him, he was mean to me. And he'd have this rude attitude. And I was like, what the heck is this guy's problem? He's nice to everybody. Like, he's an adorable kid. And then when he comes to talk to me, we can't get along because he's rude as crap. So one day, me and him just worked together all day. And we actually started to click. And then as I was talking to him, I think we went into this other room which has glass windows. And, well, actually, technically, it's a exit. Well, it's an entrance door. You're really not supposed to walk out that way, but we can. And he asked for my Facebook. And when he looked up, I don't know if this was the same day or like maybe a day or before. So maybe he was spotting me out beforehand. That's why he was being mean. And he asked me to see my Facebook. And when I showed him my Facebook account, he said, "This is you?" And I said, "Excuse, what does that mean? This is me." So are you saying I'm not attractive at work, but I'm attractive on my Facebook? Like, what the crap is that? No, I'm not the type of girl that wears, like, face makeup. If I do, it's barely any. On my Facebook, I'm still pretty much the same. But sometimes I wear glasses. There's more chances of my hair being done when I'm not at work. I only work on the weekends, but most of the time it's during harsh weather outside. It's in the summer and the winter time. So yeah, I tuck my hair away and crap. I sweat, yeah, and I wear like more comfortable clothes versus how I dress every day. So for some odd reason, people believe since they see me like that, I am not the same. So he just kept saying that, and he started going through my pictures on Facebook. So then he added me or whatever. And then, like, that day that we worked together, or whatever, I finally said to him, I said, so, you know, you're like the nicest guy I've ever met, and then you just become the rudest guy I've ever met. Like, I don't understand you. His face was, he didn't expect me to say that. Like, I'm pretty blunt, especially when it comes to someone who is shy. And in his case, he was shy towards other people, and then when it came to me, he was like mean, or he'd like snarl his face up, like he didn't really want to talk to me. And then that day he was himself when he spoke to me, and then when I caught him by himself and I said that to him, his whole entire face just changed, and he started to blush. And he said, he looked down at the ground. It was like a little cartoon. And he was like, I don't know. And I said, okay, well, I like you to be nice. I don't like people who are mean. I like people to be themselves. That's what I told him. And then ever since then, he was himself. And then some strange things started happening. Like, he came up to me one day and he was like, so who's that guy on your Facebook? I said, what? He said, the guy you went to prom with. Now, at the time, I went to prom in high school in 2012. And that was like 4 years later in that time period. And so I told him, I was like, so you're going through my old photos? And he's like, I just want to know who that guy was. I said, that was my old boy. I said that was my boyfriend at the time. And he said, are you still dating him? And I said, no. Right? He said nothing else. And then, because I saw on his Facebook what his mom looked like, I was outside. Okay, I was outside of the store. His mother never comes shopping in the daytime at that store. She comes at nighttime. She came in the daytime. She pushed open the doors that I said was an entrance. And she walked out of it as an exit. She came directly up to me and waved and left.
I'm very confused. Okay.
And so I came back in the store and I said, oh, I just saw your mom. He said, yeah, I know. And I said, how do you know?
Wait, did you plan this? Like,
if I was outside of the store, and you were inside the store, she walks out the exit, not an exit way, the entrance door, forces it open, comes up to me and my other friend while we're talking, and waves at me.
I don't understand. Guys, it gotta be so weird. Like, if you wanted me to meet your mom, you know, you could just say that. I don't know why she's just waving at me.
Yeah, when I really like people, if they're really nice to me, I introduce them to my mom. Like, out of the blue. I will introduce to my mom. And I'm pretty sure I introduced him to my mom. And my dad had spotted him out beforehand, and he had asked me who he was, because we were working together some other day before. And so then, like, he had a second job, and I went and I spoke to him there. And then we actually started talking more. But sometimes when we would drive to work, he would so happen to be right in front of me driving. He lives in a separate county than me, but we end up on the same road, right in front of me driving to work, and he would slam on the brakes in front of me, and And actually, my mom would be driving. And she's like, what is wrong with this guy in front of us? I said, Mom, actually, that's the guy I work with. And then the first time I confronted him, he said, yeah, I know it was you. I said,
So why did you do it?
I said, I wasn't driving that day. I said, my mom was like, we could have gotten into a car accident.
Why you gotta brake check so much?
I mean, this kept happening out of the blue, which was quite weird. And then, I think that happened like 5 times. And it was just weird. Like, usually you don't really know. I just know what his car looked like because it was like this like old type car. And then Christmas time. Okay, so he joined the military. He left. Christmas time, he came back. Okay, this was supposed to be the coldest day of the year. He came into the store, and I looked like... I forgot what show it was, but it was like the show where... I want to say it was a kid described this monster, and it said that he was like purple, and had all these different type of colors. Actually, it might have been SpongeBob. That's what I look like. I had so many different colors on. But when I am at work, I am a different person. And when it's super cold, I am going to dress to preserve myself, okay? So I had like the zebra scarf on. I had this big red jacket on to keep me warm. And I had like a second jacket on top of that had like fur in it inside. I had this hat on. I don't even know what color the hat was. It had to be black or white. I don't know. I felt I looked crazy, but I was also warm. And then I had black pants.
I mean, the important part is you're warm, so.
Yeah, so I'm the type of person, usually if I think it's weird, but I think it's cool at the same time. Usually if I see a lot of people that look like someone I know, or they just remind me of them, usually I end up bumping into that person. So I kept seeing a lot of people that reminded me of that guy. And then here he came down the aisle, checking out. He saw me. He waved at me. And then when I was working, he came around. He gave me a hug. And I said, "What are you doing here? This is the coldest day of the year." And he said, "I came to buy some sugar." He lives in another county.
I'm confused.
He lives in another county.
Yeah, but why do you have to go all the way there? For
Maybe,
sugar.
maybe because I work there still.
I don't know, man. Unless I'm getting a discount, I'm not driving that far.
Well, if it's to see your crush, maybe you would.
Maybe.
I mean,
I
I
don't know,
did.
man.
I did. I regretted it. I did it like several times. I regretted it. My thing is, like, I'm not the type, sometimes, okay, not always true. Sometimes I'm not the type of person, okay, to fall for somebody just because they like me. Or, like, say we're friends, and you say you like me. Or, for instance, this guy. I was dating someone. He said he liked me. And so I was like, are you serious? Because at that time, at my school, people would ask you out, but they were joking.
Okay.
That's what they would do to girls. Like, they'd say, "Hey, Jasmine, you want to go out with me?" You're supposed to say no, because they weren't serious. So when he said that, he was from a different high school, but he was working in my job. I thought he was joking because me and him didn't talk at all. All I would say is like hi to him or whatever. I didn't really know him, and he was white, and I wasn't used to white guys liking me. I like them, but I wasn't used to them liking me because I'm black, and that's just not what they did. At my school, or what I saw, I'd see black guys with white girls, yeah, but not black girls with white guys. I know my friend, she lost friends that way. She told them, well, actually, she had me tell them she liked them. And then they didn't want to be her friend anymore because she was black. And that wasn't right. I gave a Valentine's Day candy to this ginger guy. And I didn't even like him. But I always like to give out Valentine's Day candy and crap. Because I still like to do the little Valentine's Day things for people. And I gave him a sucker, which I gave almost everybody I talked to candy. And he said, oh my gosh, like, why are you giving this to me? And I was just so shocked. I was like, I thought we were friends. Even if I did like you, like, does that matter? I definitely look better than you. Freckle face. But, you know, ginger head. Whatever. Whatever. Oh, let me finish the story. So yeah, so I gave out candy and stuff, but, you know, it is what it is. If somebody likes you, they like you. Like, you can't help it. I think it's quite cute. But I just don't like people liking other people, like, while they're with someone else.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's obvious.
And I've had that happen, like, 4 times. I wasn't the one doing it, it was other people doing it.
But you just so happen to be there.
Yeah. There's this one guy, I didn't know he had a girlfriend. I think he ended up getting a girlfriend while he was talking to me, but he didn't say anything. And then finally, like, we were in art class, and he was a great artist, and I really thought this was going to be, like, an awesome relationship between us two. Until this day, I say, thank you, God. We never got together. Thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you. Like, he literally, now he tattooed Gara's symbol on top of his head. I'm a survivor, okay? I am a survivor. I have survived terrible men.
Well, good for you. God damn. He tattooed Gara's symbol on his head?
Yeah. And now he's like, he used to be like a little cute. I'm not saying I wouldn't date heavier set people, but he's like not like the cute type of heavier set. That's why I don't understand people either. Like, I've had people say, well, you wouldn't like that guy over me because he's bigger and he's fat. Like, no, that's not necessarily true. If he's a nice person, he's a nice person. Like, I'll choose him over you just because you work out.
Working out doesn't mean anything.
No.
I mean, it does, but not as much. Like, some
Most
people
people
are
I
big
know don't do
because
it.
they are. That's
Yeah.
there's nothing, they can't do anything about it.
I like people like that too. Like, my guy friend I was talking to, he was like, no, I wouldn't date a heavier set girl. She needs to keep up with me on the track. I said, well, I don't know what girl you're gonna get, but good luck to that. Good luck to that. And then when I told him he was a nerd the other day, you should have heard him. I'm not a nerd. I said, yes, you are. You are totally a nerd.
I mean, I don't think I'm a nerd.
I'm
But I
a nerd
probably
to
am.
some people.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
my
what I'm
family
saying, like, to
definitely
some
thinks
people
I'm a
I am.
nerd. Some people do not imagine me playing video games ever. Some people think of me as weird. Some people think of me as, like, they used to tell me, like, at work, I bet you're one of those popular girls. Like, no. I always told, like, my crappy friends, like, don't call them popular. Like, I don't believe in that. I said, they're not celebrities. I said, at the end of the day, I don't give a crap about those people in school. I said, they're
I
mostly
never had a
known.
popular group.
I just say mostly known.
I was probably one of those mostly known people. People know my name, I don't even know who they are most of the time.
I used to be that way in elementary school.
I was like
I
that in
happened
high
to
school.
always hang out with like the cute and the most popular little young kids. So it happened every time I moved. And I was new. But when my family would say, oh, you can't hang out with them anymore because they're a bad influence, that's when my popularity went down. It did.
I don't know.
And honestly,
I
it
was,
was good. It was a good thing because people didn't like bother me. And then when I didn't want to relate to other people, that's when I started getting into other people. Oh, you don't want to talk to us? And one thing I hate. How about you dance, Jasmine? What do I look like? If it's not a prom, homecoming, club, why am I just gonna get up and dance? I hate people. I even had my guy friend do that. I went out to the movies with all three of Ed, and Eddie's, and the song came on, and he was like, show me what you got, Jasmine. I know you want to dance. I said, what do I look like? Don't you tell me what to do. If I want to dance, I would dance. I said, and why would I'm with three guys, right? Why would I be the only one dancing? Are you out your mind? That's so insulting. My guy friends get on my nerves. Then the other day, oh, he likes you. Like, yeah, maybe one of my guy friends I do know does. But just because he's my guy friend doesn't mean I have to like them back like that. Certain people you just don't have to. Anyways, so that guy who had his mom come see me and that was looking at my Facebook and crap, I found out he had a PlayStation finally. For years he kept saying he wanted a PlayStation. And so I added him, right? And then I told him, I said, well, you know, if you do play with me and you suck, I'm still gonna clown you. And then, like, maybe that is what got him? Maybe he is ashamed. Maybe he does suck at Call of Duty, and maybe that's why he doesn't want to play with me. He still should at least play one game with me. He refuses to play with me now. Like, every time he's like, oh, I'm already in a party with my friends. I already started a game. Oh, I'm out of town. Not this time. And so I told him, I said, are you avoiding me? He said, no.
Sounds like you're avoiding me, man.
It does.
I used to play Call of Duty a long time ago. But
And like, he was supposed to help me teach me how to play it, because I could not get the hang of the new one. But I ended up finding someone else. And then when I found the person, he lives near where I live. And then we were in one chat, right? One chat within one day. He's like, your laugh is so cute. I said, thank you. And I said, oh my gosh, please. I don't like this awkwardness.
Here we go. Going downhill from here.
Yeah, I'm like within one chat. One chat? Oh my god.
That's all it takes now. One chat.
And it wasn't even like a full-blown conversation. I hate that. Like, let me talk. Get to know me. Get to know me. Know what I look like. I don't even know if he knows what I look like. And then he just sent a picture of himself.
Oh.
He said, just in case you were wondering what I look like. No, actually I wasn't. And then he started sending me messages. Hey, big head. I haven't heard from you in a while. It was one day. One day. It's actually, what was the last holiday we had? Memorial Day. Of course you wouldn't hear from me on Memorial Day. It's a holiday. I already said I was going to go see it. You know how people say, oh, so what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm going to see Aladdin. And he said, what's up, big head? And then I finally said, my head's not big. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And then the next day he says, what's up, big head? So I tried to figure out, what does that mean? Is that code name for relationship name?
Is it? I don't know.
I saw something funny before on Facebook that said, when you have them ugly guy friends that say, what's up, big head? But I don't know if the guy said it or the girl said it to him, letting him know he was friend zone.
I don't know.
But anyways,
I don't know dating slang.
do you know who Birdman is, the rapper?
No.
He was with Lil Wayne. Anyways,
Maybe?
that's what he looked like. Like, that's not
Oh.
my type.
Okay.
That's unacceptable. And like, there's this guy, I did an internship, right? There's this guy, and I'm not against guys having dreadlocks, but I like guys that have like nice hair, look nice and neat, you know? He didn't look like he washed his. He had like a large pot belly, and he was very I'll just say strong. He gave me a high five one day and my hand hurt for like a month.
Damn.
Yeah, and so like,
Okay.
that was in my internship. And he would say, well, you know, you're not that much age, you know, younger or older than me, whatever, we're about the same age. I said, no, we're not, like, not the way you look. And apparently we were, but still, it doesn't matter. He would irritate me all the time, and I hate when people do this. So my one friend started working there. Well, we became friends while she was working there, and she'd tell, in front of his face, she'd say, y'all two are boyfriend and girlfriend. That's your girlfriend. That's your boyfriend. I said, please stop that, because when you do that, you make him believe there's a chance.
Oh, feel bad.
And if he gave me a high five like that, there's no way I'd want to date a guy like that. And if his hair didn't look clean or whatever. And he was just weird. His office room would be so disgusting. He'd have all these bottles on the floor. I'm not saying people have to be perfect, but your office, come on. Come on. And so, like, one of the last conversations me and him had, okay, no, he actually made me mad. Like, he asked me and some other women, like, what should he get his mom for his birthday? For her birthday. And so I suggested this brand of earrings, and then so he asked me, no offense, but is it real? Is it actual gold? Because, like, my mom, she only likes, like, real stuff, and I gotta get her the best. I said, excuse me, I just told you my mom wears the same thing. He said, well, I said, realize that I have a Coach purse right here, and inside my Coach purse, I have a Michael Kors purse. So don't tell me about real. And so I actually told my mom what he said, and so my mom came up there, and she happened to come up there, and she spoke to him about it. He's like, I can't believe you told your mom. I said, of course I would. You insulted me and her. That was so rude. And then, when I was actually ending my internship there, I told him, I said, he said something smart to me, because he'll come, like, up to me and shove me. And so I said, that's why my mom doesn't like you anyways. And he was like, wait, your mom doesn't like me? your mom actually does not like me? He said, and then he said to this woman, yeah, the last girl I dated, like, everybody's mom that I've dated liked me. And I was like, what does he mean that he's dated? I hope he's not, because of my friend saying. And then when I finally told my friend, like, stop that, like, she's like 60, I think, on the dot. When I finally told her to stop saying that, yeah, she's that old. She said, oh, I'm just joking anyways. I said, no, you're not, because you keep saying it. And even after I told you to stop, you keep saying it. And then she told me how her husband was big, and how, I swear she described him laying on top of her and he didn't squish her. Because I'm the person that will say that, like, no, he's too big, like, he'll suffocate me. That's one issue I had with my last official boyfriend. Like, he was heavy. He wasn't, well, he kind of was overweight, but not like that. Yeah. He wasn't skinny or toned, per se, I should say that. But he was just heavy. You know how some people are just heavy?
Yeah, but it's big. Yeah.
And he was like 6 foot something. Like, I'd have to tell him, like, you gotta get off of me. You like, don't lean on me. I need my space. Just...
I'm not trying to die over here.
Oh my gosh. But that's what I don't understand. Like I was talking to my female friend. She's like 30. Or she's gonna be 30. I think she's 29 right now. She's like, yeah, I told her, I said, actually, the type of guy I want him to be, like, really nice. I want him to share the same religion with me. And then I want him to be a virgin. And she was like, she laughed. And I said, why are you laughing? And she was like, no guys are virgins anymore. I said, that is not true. Oh, now the glitch wants to work. You piece of crap.
What glitch?
Where I keep stabbing.
Oh. I thought you quit playing. You're still playing? Or you went back?
Yeah. I mean, I paused for a couple minutes. Do you honestly believe that? That there's not that many guys that are actually virgins?
I mean, there might not be a lot, but they exist.
I think they just lie about it. Like that quiet guy that brought his mom in there. One conversation, okay, he was embarrassed to share with me, but he turned to this other woman and shared it with her, and I just leaned in. I mean, I thought it was kind of rude if me and him were talking, and we were talking with the other lady, and then he decides, oh, I just want to whisper with her. But he was saying why he thought his girlfriend broke up with him. And he said because he was a virgin, and I said, so? So what? I said, so am I. Like, I'm pretty sure my boyfriend broke up with me for the same thing, and I know he was a virgin. I think it's everybody's preference. I did like a research and it said that more people are virgins than people believe. They just don't say anything. Like, why would you?
They just don't say it. Yeah.
When I was in high school, I did this like little extra thing where I got to go to a little tech college, and I got to be with other people from other high schools. And I remember they were talking about their sex stories. Oh my gosh. In the front yard, on the grass, in the daytime. Another one was talking about they were like in the back seat of a car or limo, and the guy, he said he was a Christian, and she said, that's when I used to be a sweet Christian girl, and he said he's just gonna put it in my butt. And he just did it, and I was just like,
I don't understand these people. Okay.
And then another one was like talking about positions of frogging, and I was like, what the heck? Oh, it's fun. And she's telling other people, oh, it's fun, you should do it. Crazy. And then one of them was doing a pedicure on my feet, and they said, they were laughing and joking, saying, oh, I bet you're a virgin. I said, yeah, and I am, so what? And they were like, ah, you're lying. And then one said, oh my gosh, I am so sorry.
Wait, what? Sorry.
Sorry. I said, excuse me? I said, no, don't feel bad for me. It's my choice. And from y'all stories, thank God I am. And even the guys, they were just butt ugly, like. And then they were talking about how they were getting infections from these guys. Because some of them weren't using mouthwash when they were doing so crazy. This was high school, and I was just like, so shocked, because I was hearing things I've never heard before, like. Thank God I got rid of all those girls. And then they wondered why I didn't like to talk with them, and why I was antisocial. They're like, yeah, Jasmine, we didn't think you liked us. I said, okay, this is what I said. What made you believe that? Does that sound believable?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, actually, I did not like them. I didn't like any of them. I grew accustomed to this one I wanted to fight, and then I grew accustomed to these other two. It was like, their attitude was just really trashy, like, trashy. I couldn't. And it was crazy how, like, we became cool. It was crazy. This post, I might just be single forever.
I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna be single forever.
But is it actually a bad thing?
No. I mean, I might be single, but I'll still have my friends. Shit. It's not like I'm gonna be alone all the time.
See, I don't say that about my friends. I say that about my family. I'm still gonna have my family.
Oh.
And my
I like my
dogs.
friends more than family.
I like my family more than I like my associates.
I can tell by the word associates.
I hate to use the word friends. I have not met anybody to... Okay, I take that back. I have met some people I could call friends, but I don't... Probably because they're older, and probably because I met them at the workplace. I like to separate them as just... I just like to say just good people, period. But I don't have... Look, okay, with the stories I have shared of my so-called friends, I don't consider that friend things. Like, friends don't sit there. If I say I want to do something for my birthday week, everybody jumps on the ball. And you would think they'd get together and be like, okay, we're gonna get Jasmine a birthday gift or whatever, even though I don't really care too much about that, but it's just the thought of it, because one day, Eddie didn't have money. And I said, okay, Ed and Double D, let's all put together like $1.50 and get him a ticket to go to the movies. This is what happens. This was my day to plan everything. So I planned the food, I planned the movies, and I planned to do some gaming. They decided, well, he needs to eat, so we're just gonna eat before we come. We're gonna go eat at his house. I said, what? You're gonna eat at his house when I already planned that we would split one of these $20 pizzas at this Italian restaurant bar? Like, how am I gonna eat? What am I gonna eat? I said, are you not listening? I mean, it was terrible. And I was like, this is the way it is. Bros before girls, clearly. Because clearly they're going to team up against me. They call me their friend. Whatever. But at the end of the day, it's guys over girls. I'm just not.
They're not really your friends.
I'm just not used to this treatment. I'm used to. I don't know. I'm used to at least one guy treating me decently. Just one, at least. None. None of them. No, like, they're very selfish. Double D and I had this conversation about, you know, like the school shootings and stuff. I said, it really upsets me. And sometimes I have dreams. Ironically, majority of the time I have a dream like a day before an actual school shooting or a big shooting happens. And it's just so scary. And he said, well, I don't care. As long as it's not my family or myself, I'm good. I said, what? He's like, I don't care. This was like last month before, and I was like, what type of people are these? What type of people are these? And I said, you're so selfish, yada yada. This is probably what it sounded. Yada 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 yada. You're selfish, like, who thinks like this? Like, it's not me, I'm not worried about it.
You should be though, but okay, whatever. You do you. This is I just let people, you know, let people be themselves. Let people do whatever the hell they want, or think whatever the hell they want. Because some people are just beyond help, and I'm not gonna bother with it.
That's true. Some people are beyond help. That's why I was trying to keep in mind, like, when I had my... Actually, I broke up with this guy, like, probably 100 times. I wanted to say 50. I'm gonna have to go ahead and skip to 100 or over. And when we finally... No, I'm lying. One of those breakups, which I thought was actually real. Well, it was for, like, 2 months, and then he came back. Crazy. Anyways, so my dad, he told me, he's like, there's millions of people out there you have yet to meet, and so for you to just sit here over one guy when there's all these other people around the world, like, that's just crazy. And you being so young. And I was just like, my dad is right. So I always live by that motto, and I live by the motto that my mom told me, that he was blocking my blessings, and I believe that 100%. Because as soon as we broke up, I got me an internship I didn't even apply for.
Wow.
1 week difference. It was just crazy. And I think it's also true. I keep seeing this meme on Facebook. It says, the more you ignore her, the more you allow her to realize how to live without you. That is true. That is true. Because he started to ignore me. Like, I'd send him text messages, and he'd say, I'm tired. Good night. No, like, what the heck? But I was like, whatever, he's tired. I had just got him a job at McDonald's, which I couldn't even go to that McDonald's for like 4 years. I was just so upset. Oh my gosh. And so, no, that's not the worst. The worst is I see his face like on PlayStation almost every single day. And he only got a PlayStation account because I made him one on my PlayStation. And, actually he blocked me on Facebook, but I went in there somehow, and I made sure, just in case he decides to unblock me, I already blocked him on Facebook, but he is still a recommended friend on PlayStation from the Facebook, and it makes no sense. And I told my mom, I was like, you know, Mom, like, he's like all big now and crap, and he has dark circles around his eyes. He became like a drunk. I don't want to say I pushed him that far. He pushed himself, but whatever.
I'm not gonna say I did it, but I'm just saying.
I mean, I don't know. I'm used to people, like, if I break up with him, they usually, like, cry or, can I come back? I let him come back several times, so the last time I told him, quote unquote, you could pray, you could beg, you could cry, you could come to my house, you can get on your knees and ask for me to come back. I'm not coming back. That was one of the greatest quotes of my life. And then things got so much better. And actually, like, I had back problems while I was dating him, and I did not know it was because of him. So sometimes I feel people date people for so long, you get used to dating the person. It's not that you really like them. You don't know how to be without them anymore because you're used to that person. Crazy.
Yeah, makes sense.
Wonder if this is a creep. He says, nice picture you got. I just want to say hi and God bless you. Why?
I don't know. If he was being serious, then it'd be okay.
He only has one follower, and he's only following 6 people, and he has only 1 post. Why?
Because he's weird.
I just want to say hi and God bless you.
He's weird.
I don't even know. Do you say thanks, God bless you as well?
I guess?
I already got catfished by a white Nigerian like 3 weeks ago. But actually, he didn't complete it because I knew his pictures were funny. He actually kind of looked like a serial killer. And it was like, he was trying to force me to become his girlfriend. That's one thing I don't understand. I've been having this happen for like a whole year. People are trying to force me to be their girlfriend. I don't understand. Is there a drought?
Is there a drought? I don't know.
Like, nobody asked, hey, would you like to be my girlfriend? Would you like to be in a relationship with me? Nobody asked me that. Like, one guy, he walked, okay, I had 1, 2, 3, 4 guys like me in one class. One of them was married, shame on him. The other one was the one that had a girlfriend didn't know about. The other one would take credit for my artwork and steal some of my artwork. And then the other one was just quite weird. Well, actually, they were all weird. That's why I didn't date any of them. But the one, he walked up, he came in the classroom, he walked out, and he came back in. At first, I thought he was sick or something. And then he walked up to me. He takes his hand, like he has something in his hand, and he, like, pushes his thumb down like he's pressing buttons with his thumb, and he says, number. I said,
What?
excuse me? He says, number. I said, are you asking for my phone number? He said, yeah. Now, I'm the type of person, I'm like, I hope you don't think this means anything. I'll say, you know what? Go ahead, have my number. And then when I shoot you down, know why. Because you just came up to me and said number. And it's not like he didn't know me. We had a class the semester beforehand, probably the semester before that, so it was no excuse. It's just like they just lose their minds. Like,
I don't know. That's just weird.
I had one
just
throw
gotta talk to somebody.
$200 at me.
For what?
He wanted
just
to
gonna give
brag
me
about his
$2?
money, right? And I told him, he said, I'll give you this $200 for something. And I said, okay. I said, keep flashing that money in front of my face and talking to me like that and see if you have it. And so then I took it. But then when he threatened to get it back, I had to give it back to him because I didn't want him to harass me.
Yeah.
I told him I hope that was a lesson learned.
People are weird.
He's the one that had the Gara symbol on his head.
Oh, okay.
And I have... Some people understand, some people don't. I have this is what I call, like, I have dreams to where I can kind of tell if the person is okay for me to date them or not. If I have a dream about I refer to him as my high school boyfriend because I don't like to say ex-boyfriend because that was high school. I don't really count that no more. If I have a dream about him, then to me, something about that guy reminds me of him. That means I shouldn't be with him. That means he's crazy. And just talking to the guy that had the Gar symbol but didn't have the Gar symbol at the time, he would get like loud out of the blue, but he, you know, like how you know people so you talk a certain way to them, but he didn't know me, but he was just getting loud talking to me like a crazy person. I was like, what the heck is wrong with this guy? And I kept having dreams about my old boyfriend, and I just thought that was so strange. And so finally I took it as a sign, like, it's probably because he reminds me of him. And it'd probably just be like a repetitive cycle. I'm just so grateful. I did not date him every time I see his face on Facebook. And one time I did show a picture of him to my mom, and my mom was like, stay away from that guy, he looks crazy. But he was a great artist. Like, he made beautiful artwork. Shame. He was crazy. Then, New Year's, like, I gave him my number. He texted me. You know, I think he asked me to movies. And I said, no, I'm not coming. And then, when New Year's hit, I sent him, like, everybody. I don't do it anymore because of this incident. I go through my phone. I text every single person in my phone, Happy New Year's. He responded with, I wish you were with me. And I responded with, I know you're with your girlfriend. And he responded with, yeah, so I don't want to talk about her right now. And then he said he wanted to kiss me. And I was like, kiss your girlfriend. And then, like, when we came back to school, like, I'd still talk to him like a regular person, and he wasn't talking to me, and I hate when people do that. Just because you have a girlfriend doesn't mean you can't talk to people. Not in a romantic way, sure, but as a friend, you could still talk to people, or as an associate, or a classmate, you can still, if I say hello, you should say hello back. You don't have to even have a full-blown conversation. It's just rude not to acknowledge people. And, he wasn't speaking whatsoever. So come to find out, he had twins by his girlfriend that he was with, and he was trying to talk to me, and I was just like, dodged a bullet there. Couldn't imagine.
Well, at least you get him out of the way now.
I know. I was just so grateful, like, today I didn't have this guy bother me. He's been staring at me for a couple years now. And I paid attention, but I didn't really, because I just kind of blow it off, because a lot of people just, like, look at other people. But it was very, like, noticeable as of lately. It's quite creepy, but he stopped. He didn't do it today. Maybe because I prayed he'd leave me alone. You know, I don't know what type of look it is. Like a look I'm gonna hunt you down and kidnap you look. Or a look like if you look back at me, we're gonna be together. But I had overheard him talk to someone one day. I don't even know his name. I overheard him talk, and I've been at my job for a long time. I overheard him talk, yeah, my wife is having another kid. I was like, oh my gosh, not another one. I cannot stand people who are married and try to talk to other people. And I just don't like creepy people. But talking to others, that's just so messed up. I just don't think that's appropriate. Because at the end of the day,
I mean, it's not.
it's going to happen back to you. And like that one married guy, like, that was in my class that was trying to talk to me, he actually messaged me on Instagram. I blocked him on Instagram. I blocked him on Facebook. Like, no. Only talked to you because you were my classmate. But when he said what he said, like, he even told me that he was high and drunk. He'd come to school high and drunk, and he was like, I think he was like 39 at the time. It was weird. One day I was in the store and he introduced me to his wife, and I was just like, I had two things in my mind. I was like, his poor wife. But at the same time, okay, let me go ahead and say it, because actually I shouldn't have said his poor wife, because this is what his wife wanted. He let me know his wife wanted me to be with him and her, and that just blew my mind. Because we have never talked anything like that. And it was art class. And that's all we ever talked about was art. And then one day he came in and sat next to me and said, so I had this thing going on with my wife. I said, okay. I'm looking at him crazy, like, why would I want to know about your wife? Like, this is weird. My mom had told me, like, it's not normal for someone to talk about their married life to a single person. Anyways, but I told her this, like, afterwards, and he asked, would I have a threesome with his wife and him because I looked really cute, and I was just like, no.
Just because I'm cute. Okay.
I need to write a book. I never told my parents, because they would have came out up to my campus. They would have flipped out. Like, I was just so freaking shocked. I'm not that type. I don't look like that type of girl. I don't act like that type of girl. No offense to those type of girls, because some probably say, what do we act like? I'm not that type. I'm pretty quiet. I keep to myself. I'm not that type of girl. I don't dress like that type of girl. Like, I would never have expected that in my life to ever happen. Ever. Ever. That just blew my mind. I'll never forget that as long as I live. That's why I make sure to keep him blocked. Gotta charge my crappy controller. My character looks pretty cool. She looks like a samurai black superhero.
I do not look like a superhero.
Okay, so do you use Instagram and stuff?
No, I'm not a social media person.
Even so, is it weird if someone goes through, like, say, if I made a post today and someone goes through, like, all my posts since, like, March and likes all of them? Is that weird to you?
I mean,
Should I be
liking all
concerned?
of them, yeah. I think that's a bit much. You can like look through everything, I guess. It's fun. There's nothing wrong with that. But liking something that's like,
Like, every single one.
yeah, that's to me that's weird.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned for my friend. Like, he does that. I mean, maybe he does like me, but it's weird one because he's just like 19 now, or he's still, yeah, I think he's 18 still. So it's weird, in my opinion. 2, I don't like him like that. 3's kind of annoying, but it's like one day I was on Facebook and I counted how many things. Well, I saw the Instagram notifications pop up, and it just kept going, and I thought I had a glitch on my computer. And he liked all my posts 44 times within one day, within one like minute. And like, so lately he's been waiting like a couple of months, and then he still does it like in one little swoop.
In one big succession.
Yeah, he did it the other day, and I was just like, I told him, the Eddie of the group, I told him, I said, get your friend. He's doing it again. Because he told me, he said, well, maybe he likes you. So?
Well, you should just tell me he likes me.
Yeah, I prefer people to tell me. I don't understand what's so hard. I have probably told... I have told 5, 6, 7, maybe almost 10 people that I've liked them first. And that was starting from when I was like a little kid, like middle school, high school, beginning of high school.
There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't understand why people
It
don't.
is when you get the reaction of disgust. It's not when it's like, oh, you like me, and it's a smile. I don't do it anymore because that last person I dated, I just don't do it anymore. I decided that I am going to be patient and wait for someone to tell me they like me, not for me. Because it's like, if I do it, then I feel like I have to be on top of everything from that point forward. Versus when someone else does it, to me, they kind of take, what do you call it? They take a stance, basically. You know? That they're independent enough to do things on their own, versus I feel like I have to do everything. I have to be the planner for everything. So I prefer it to be that way, but as of right now, people don't really ask me out. They just stare at me, smile.
Stalk your Instagram.
I had this one guy. This was a 2 weeks ago actually, because that's the last time I worked besides yesterday. And it was a white guy. He came in. I was like, oh, this guy's kind of cute. And he came up and he was like, he gave me some money. He's like, here you go, girl. And I was just like, ah. And then like, I walked up. This happens a lot. Like, a lot of guys would like be like behind me Not like creepily behind me. Maybe it is, but like a good space distance. But there's still like, it's like a good gap. So basically a walkway, but they'll be like there, creeping on me. And
Yeah.
actually, I might have seen this guy twice already. I think he was like Mexican, but I can't tell. I cannot tell. So he kind of looked like Aladdin, so he's pretty cute. So I was standing there, and I was talking to this annoying lady, but she's like 70. Oh my gosh, she is on my nerves. And I turned around, and I looked at him, and he smiled at me, and I smiled at him. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't keep staring at him. So I turned back around, and I looked at her. I said, what are you looking at? And she was like laughing, and she's like, nothing. And I was like, oh, I can't turn back around. He's too cute. And then this other guy, I'm gonna say it was probably like some of the happened in the same day. It was this black guy. He kept staring at me, and I said, okay, I'm gonna walk over this way off to the side and see if he's still staring at me. He was still staring at me. And I'm not used to a lot of people like staring at me in my work uniform, aka the other guy. Is this really you? Is this what you really look like? Like, whatever. And so, when I moved, he was still staring at me. So then I kind of like looked away, and then I kind of like moved like directly in front of him so I could steer him and like check him out. And then, when he kind of came towards me, he just kept staring, and he looked really scared, and so I kind of got scared, and then, like, I said, hi, and he was like, hi, and he, like, put his hand up, and I was just like, oh, yeah, am I that scary?
I don't know, man. It takes up a lot of courage.
I don't think so. I think if you're determined to do it, you're determined to do it. I mean, I've done it like 10 times.
Yeah, but you know,
And then
not everybody's as strong as you are.
That's the issue. And then, like, one guy, I told him I liked him, and then he asked me, why don't I like his friend? I think that's happened to me like 3 times. But then he told me he liked me, but he said I'd be better with the other guy. Like, doggone it. And I was so sad because I really liked that other guy, but I had a boyfriend at the time, and I really liked my boyfriend, which was a shame. And then at the same time, it's like, my boyfriend was like the worst. He was the worst. I wish, you know, certain things I feel don't happen for a reason, and I just wish I never experienced it. Actually, you know what, I take it back. I wish I would have broke up with him when I planned on it. I'm the type of person, I plan everything. If I don't like you after a couple of months, then I can understand I really don't like you. And so then I'll tell you. And so I think he somehow he knew I was getting ready to, and then he, long story short, he awkwardly proposed to me, and I felt guilty, and then so I stayed with him, and I actually thought I'd end up marrying him, and then did not. Thank God. Thank God. Oh my gosh. I would not be the same person I am today. I probably wouldn't even be allowed to talk to you if I was with that guy. He did not let me talk to my PlayStation friends anymore. I mean, I'm pretty sure I would have been like, well, forget you. I've been playing PlayStation way before you, and I probably still would have did it. But you know, he was the type of spiteful person. Like, he would have tried to do something to hurt me if I didn't do what he wanted.
It just feels bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. And then, like, the one guy that asked me out, and I told you I thought he was joking. I remember he told me, he said, you know, eventually he'll come back. He'll come back asking for you, and when he does, you block him. You block him. And I did not. And then biggest regret.
With
But
everything,
I
yeah.
was like so. I never knew I could get that sad over someone. I guess because in my mind, the way we broke, I'm not used to breaking up with people and still not talking to them. Usually we're still friends. He told me if we ever broke up, we would never ever be friends again. And I knew him since I was 10 years old. So that's probably
I
another
think
reason why I stayed. Like, if you tell me we can't be friends no more, he said no because it would hurt me. But I don't date like that. I mean, people like me, and if they are interesting, maybe, but from the people that have approached me from that time period, no. There's nobody I have been interested in dating. And sometimes I think people know, like, I'm a serious person, so if they were to date me, like, things are gonna get real serious. Like, not serious as in not funny, but, like...
They don't want to commit to that.
No. Part of them kinda does, because they like me, but they don't want the full thing, so... I don't think I was really ever meant to really, like, date people like that, but who knows. I also believe, like, if I go ahead and date somebody without fully knowing that I actually want to date them, that's when the nice choices actually come. I've learned my lesson. Wait. I swear, every time I had a friend say, oh my gosh, go ahead, date that guy. He looks pretty nice. And I'm like, I don't know, and I do it. Worst decision of my life. Never listen.
Exactly.
Never listen to your friends, because even that last date I had with the guy, I didn't even tell my parents I went on a date with him. I just said I met up with a friend. I don't even want to tell them, because I told my mom. I said, can you help someone like with their hygiene? She said, sometimes you can. I said, what about their teeth? Like, if their teeth are already gross, like, I'm the type of person, if I look at you and I cannot imagine kissing you, then I can't do it. His lips look like they would have cut my skin, and then his teeth were just so gross. People are like, oh, well, were they spaced out crooked? No, that wasn't the issue. It just looked like he hasn't brushed his teeth, like, ever. And
Damn.
I swore he had braces with me. And that's another issue, like, how can you have braces and not?
Cannot take care of your teeth afterwards.
Yeah, that's one feature everyone, like, talks about on me. Oh, your teeth are so pretty. I'm like, well, if I didn't get braces, would I be as pretty? Would you still say I was pretty? Because when I was younger, I had really nice teeth. But then I had an accident, and then I lost, like, all my teeth. And when they regrew in crooked. Probably because they all regrew in at the same time, instead of one by one like a normal kid. And they were terrible. And I didn't get braces till I was in high school, and at that time I was like, I don't know if I want them anymore, because I started to actually enjoy myself without them. But they weren't, like, plaqued up and goopy. Like, that's gross. The internet told me I was being too picky, but I don't believe that's true. But, you know,
It said you were being too picky? For
yeah,
what?
and said that I should probably go get checked out for not wanting a guy that doesn't have nice teeth. I didn't say they had to be perfectly straight, but I do believe people should brush their teeth and floss. Yeah. Because who knows, he might not have had money to have braces, like, that's what happens sometimes.
Yeah,
Maybe he doesn't want braces. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and tell someone to get braces just because they're not perfectly straight, so, but I cannot help but stare at teeth that look like they've never brushed them.
thick layer of plaque sitting there.
That's what he had. You seem like one of the only people to understand that. Especially young kids. Like my female friend.
Coconut, whatever, charcoal. So, I mean, pretty much everybody in my family uses that.
Aw, they're trying to actually save me and they got slapped across map. He died in my honor. The monster is over me. Oh my gosh, these guys are actually great teammates for once. I'm so proud. They saved me. Yeah, but my family is like very picky on who I bring home. Okay, actually, they have made fun of a guy I brought home before. He did have goopy teeth. I wasn't dating him though. It was a birthday party. I invited him. Long story short, he became my stalker when we got older. I'm so grateful he could not remember where I lived. Because at first he told me, yeah, I think I remember. And then I was scared because I'm like, it's been years and I don't know you anymore. And that's what I told the other guy too that I went on a date. I said, I don't know you anymore. I said, you think you know me, but if it's been like 6 years and you haven't spoken to me, then you don't know me anymore. I'd like to say I'm the same. Yeah, I'd like to say I'm the same, but I'm not. Because I don't remember what you liked or what you didn't like or what, you know, what we joked about. So, I talk to a lot of people, so I can't remember everything. Even if I did. I'm never gonna do that thing you were talking about.
What?
The staggering. And then I'm starting to glitch too.
It's easy to do it with an axe or a hammer. And to do it against something weak that doesn't move.
I was really having a down day today. Talking to you made me feel better.
That's good, I guess. Maybe I should be a therapist. Not really. I don't think I can handle that many people's problems.
That's what I'm concerned about. Technically, that's what I'm gonna be, a therapist. But I know my dad told me, he said majority of therapists have more problems than the actual people they're helping. And then when he said that, I was like, oh my gosh.
Therapists have to have other therapists to diagnose them. Alright, I guess I'm down here now. Oh. I can actually help you since I'm down here. It would let me revive you. I didn't know being shocked actually stopped you from reviving people.
Oh. Fuse.
Yep.
I was like, I'm not down. You're gonna revive me?
No, not you. I mean, maybe if I was in your game. Ooh, that was a big one. Can you not do that thunder tackle?
And then I've had a lot of people ask me, do I want to get married? And when people ask me questions like that, it's like 1 week after the other. It's like so creepy.
You
I'm
want to
like,
get married?
yeah. Or I'll have people say, don't ever get married. I'm like, so when I talk to like my parents, I'm like, everybody says it's terrible. And then my mom's like, well, me and your dad have been married forever. My parents got married at 21. So that's probably why I thought when I was gonna be younger, I need to get married at least by 21, because that's when they did it, you know. And then when that time period didn't actually happen, and then, you know, I was just like, my life is over, like, what am I supposed to do? And then, like, all these good things started happening. And then, like, since I'm a graphic designer, well, just because I'm a graphic designer doesn't mean I do this. I like to make my own, like, anime characters and crap. And when I went to Japan, I was really shocked. Like, nobody flirted with me. When I went down there, someone told me, this guy, he told me, get yourself a Japanese boyfriend. And it just stuck out in my mind. I was like, I told myself, why would you say that? And he was like, I don't know. And so when I went down there, most of them were really like reserved. Until I would go on the train and they'd start farting on the train. That was so disgusting. Like every single train ride, they were passing gas. I don't know if the black people on the train made them nervous or whatever, but they continuously passed gas. Like every different train ride. It was ridiculous. It was disgusting. And it was so funny. Like, I did think it was creepy. This one fat guy, I think he was recording us or taking pictures of us. And like I caught like these old people like staring at us. Like every time I look, they look away. And then there's this young guy sitting next to my brother. And my brother, he says, I smelled a fart. And I tell my brother's like, dang, who farted? And I was just like, you know, I honestly thought it was you, but I wasn't gonna say nothing. And then he said, nah, I think it's this guy right here next to me. This guy sitting right next to me. I think, and he said it so loud, and that guy was trying to pretend like he didn't know. I'm pretty sure he knew exactly what he was saying. But my brother told me a lot of them pretend like they don't speak English because most Americans make fun of their English. Now, I'm that type of person. I'm not gonna make fun of no one else speaking another language because I try it. And Japanese, don't even get me started. To me, that's like the hardest language for me that I would want to learn. I don't think I could do it. I couldn't say anything. My brother didn't even know anything. He knew like simple words like thank you and you're welcome. That's it. He didn't know anything else. There's no way I'm gonna live in a foreign country and not try to learn. I'd have me so many Japanese friends. You'd think I was Japanese. There's no way I'd let that slide. Because I'd want to come back. But yeah, that was so hilarious. And then another time, my sister-in-law, she didn't hold on to one of the railings. And when the Japanese trains take off, they like pull you real hard. And she fell down on the ground. And they all came... she's like really tall and stuff, and so she was much bigger than him. When she fell on the ground, like all these women came to rush to come lift her up from the train. It was honestly hilarious. She knew better. She was trying to text. It was hilarious. It was just like great memories. But I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to go to Korea. That's my issue there. I hate to say my experiences with the older Koreans here has just been wild. I have a friend in Korea, and I told him I would visit him, but I don't know if I want to, because I just don't know if I want to go down there. I don't know if I want to deal with the headache.
I mean, I don't know that many. I know one Korean.
Uh-huh.
That's it, I think.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, I know her and her brother and like all their friends. So.
Hmm.
But just that one group of people.
I think it's weird. I've been dreaming about my old Korean friend lately. It's probably because I ran into him twice, but I didn't speak to him because I didn't want that awkward moment of, I don't remember you or your name. And I was really sad because I really cared for him. And I had a friend, she graduated 1 year ahead of me in college, and I saw her like 2 months ago in the store, and I spoke to her, and I could tell from her face she was like, I cannot remember who you are. And it just kind of like blew my mind. I'm like, you just invited me over your house last summer on 4th of July for a barbecue. If you can't recognize me now, if I was to come over your house, you still wouldn't have recognized me. And I ran into her like 4 times. I mean, she was a Korean, but it's just a thing, you know, kind of like messes it up. And I don't know. Maybe I will run into my friend again. I had a small crush on him when we were in school. He might not have known. He might have known. I was always harassing him. So, touche. Sometimes I was the mean person. But I was like funny mean. Like irritating mean. But we were still friends. Type deal. Not like I'm just gonna bully you because I like you. No.
I'm just gonna bully you because I like you.
Yeah. I don't know, for a long time I thought, maybe I'll marry an Asian guy. I met 4 potentials, but I think one of them was quite weird. And then, so 3 potentials. And then, yeah. Things just happen. People change. Time goes on. Actually, 5. I met 5. They were all Korean. Korean or half white, half Korean. But I do sometimes, I believe you just cannot, sometimes things move on for a reason, and you can't go back in the past and pull out old friends. Like, that's what happened with that guy that from the birthday party became my stalker. I don't even remember in detail. It was quite hilarious, but it was scary. Like, all I did was say, oh my gosh. I used to call him Skittles. Don't remember why.
I love Skittles.
Something about he must have always had Skittles, so I must have made the joke taste of rainbow. Anyways, I'd call him Skittles, and so I said hey on Facebook. He was like, oh my gosh, long time, I missed you, blah blah blah. And so when I said hey, he sent me a winky eye smiley face. It's like, okay.
What does that mean?
I said, okay. And then he was like, oh, can I call you or whatever? Because it's been a long time. I want to hear what you sound like, blah, blah. So he called. His stories were too out of place. I could not even believe his stories. But he did admit to me that he was doing drugs in the past. Some hard drugs or blah blah. And then he went in detail about my friend, which I still consider her my friend. There's certain people I can still consider my friend. You know, we're not friends no more, but friends when we were in high school. Because I'm pretty sure if I ran into it, we'd still have a good time. But he dated her, and he told me, he's like, yeah, when we'd have sex, she wouldn't make any noises, and it was just so boring. And I was just like, okay. Yeah. I was just listening to him talk. He just kept going on. And then he told me, he's like, yeah, I looked at your Facebook and... Well, actually, no, he didn't even say he looked at my Facebook. He was like, I like that brown dress you were wearing. I said, what? He said, yeah, you were wearing a brown dress in one of your pictures on Facebook. I said, I don't own any brown dresses because it was that long ago. Like, I take a lot of pictures, so to me, you have to be like really into searching through my pictures to find those particular pictures.
Yeah.
And then
a lot of digging.
I don't remember all the crap he said, but I remember it was Christmas Day. No, he'd call me while I was at work. He'd call me 3 times a day, actually. I'd say I'm at work, you know, and he's like, oh, okay. And he'd just stay on the phone. This would be like at 8 in the morning. And one time it was Christmas. He called me on Christmas. And that's when I finally blocked his phone.
Damn.
And something he said made me think that he thought we were going to get together. Like, I just reached out to you because you were an old friend. I just added him on Facebook. Is that so bad to do? I don't know. And then, like, people told me, oh, you should post more pictures on social media. Like, how are you gonna find a guy? How's guys gonna know what you look like? I said, because of my icon. But you can't even click on your picture because you set it to private. Yeah, because I don't want guys to steal it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, on PlayStation, if people send me a close friend request, if I see they have a picture of themselves and they don't look crazy, I'll leave it. But if you send me a close friend request and you look crazy, and you've never spoken to me, never said a word, then I'm gonna block you. Because you don't want me to see what you look like, but you want to make sure you see what I look like. That's not fair.
Yeah. Weird.
So, I don't find that fair.
Because it's not.
It's fair to them because they're guys and I'm a girl. Just like how they just stare at you and not
2019.
say anything.
Well, that's just people being weird.
That's how most guys do to me.
Oh.
They just stare at me.
I mean, I don't stare at people. Well, I mean, I guess it's kind of my
Honestly,
job to stare at some people, but
I don't
they don't know
know.
I'm staring at them.
I mean, honestly, technically, I used to do that. Like, if I really like someone, I couldn't say it. I would just, I'm gonna stare at him and let him know that I like him. I used to do that. I can't recall who I did that to, but I used to do that. Like, strange guys. And then the worst is when I'm zoned out, and then I realize some guy thinks I'm staring at him.
Yeah.
Let's chat.
Oh, this girl has a really cute face. Wish I could have made my character look like her.
That's how you do it.
Dr. Priyani. I think she looks cute in the face.
Ready for a challenge? Fair skies.
And she has pretty hair. I don't know about the shave thing, but it blends in, but yeah, like, I don't know, I think it's quite interesting. But I hate when people group up on me. If it's one person that likes me and then a group, like, comes up to me, that is so scary. Like, don't do that. Just a one person come, or another person come and volunteer themselves to come to let me know the other person's interested. When it's a group, I hate that. I hate that. There was this one guy, I was sitting in, what the heck do they call it? Anyways, it was all a bunch of different, like, little restaurants. And I was sitting there, and I saw this cute guy, but then I saw this girl looking at me, him looking at me, and this other guy next to her, and they were talking. So I could tell they were talking about me, and then, like, my anxiety level attacked me so high. I did not know what to do. I did not know. I was not expecting this. This was not that long after I had broke up with the guy I dated, and I could not take it. So what did I do? I just pulled out my phone and just texted, pretended to text the whole entire time, and surfed my phone. And I didn't look up. I said, I can't do this. This is so awkward. This is why I like Boof. I was waiting for Boof to free up. So I can't hide myself. Like, I can't do this. And then as soon as I got up, walked around the corner, this guy, he was eating a sandwich, and he stopped eating his sandwich just to stare at me. I was just like, I just thought it was funny.
I guess I don't notice. I just don't care.
One day you'll care. One day you'll catch someone to stare at. Menacingly.
Menacingly? Like a creepy stalker?
Yeah. I've had, what?
Oh, man.
A couple of
I
people
don't
told
think
me
I
they
could
were
do
coming
that.
over my house. Yep.
Wow. I mean, I would say that, but I don't know where you live, and it's probably a pretty long drive, so
From
probably
Connecticut?
wouldn't do it
Probably.
yeah.
I actually had a PlayStation friend he literally told me he was coming to live with me. I was just blown. This is literally what he told me. I told him, I said, what do you plan on doing? You know, at that time, I don't know if I had graduated from high school or if I was still in high school, but I think we probably were, because he was like what he was going to do after he graduates. And he's like, I'm probably going to come, like, probably come stay with you. I said,
Like,
what?
wait.
I
What?
said that, but I don't have my own place or nothing. I live with my parents. He's like, well, but if you get your own apartment, then I'll come stay with you. And I was like, wow. And then the next thing I know, he ended up calling me a black gorilla and how I was ugly and blah blah. And then a month later, he came back, saying how sorry he was. I'm starting to think more people do drugs than I think. I don't understand these people, but you know,